Thank you, Aju and Kottayam Sikasa. So Kottayam is my native town and my hometown actually. So it is indeed my privilege to take up the session. So yeah, very good evening to one and all. Good evening. So can I have a reply in the chat box if all ready and get to go? Yes. So yes, so what is the plan? Tell me the plan. Plan, Para. What is the plan? Plan for the session is basically we are going to deal with 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Mm. We are going to deal with which topic? Risk assessment. Be it CA Inter or CA Final, there is a topic called as the risk assessment. Okay. So before we start, two things. One, I'm going to keep this session in English. But if you have any doubts, I can explain in Malayalam or whatever it is, Tamil. But basically, I'm keeping the session in English. Why? Because next month, inter exam, or we are going to appear for the exam, right? So our studies and keywords should come in English. Okay? One thing. Second thing is, it's a revision session. Around 1 hour or 1 hour 20 minutes. First 1 hour 20 minutes, we'll be studying or revising the topic of risk assessment. Towards the second part, we will be doing the questions, both MCQ, a few MCQ, as well as a few descriptive questions, including the presentation. As far as auditing is concerned, main issue. Come on, Ariallo, you know, na presentation. Okay. So guys, all set? Keep replying, okay? Keep replying. Okay. So topic. Topic for the evening was, what was the topic? The flow gone. Topic is risk assessment. When you hear about the risk assessment, which essay will come to mind? Which essay will come to mind when you hear about the risk assessment? It is essay. Correct. Essay 315. Not only 315. One more essay will come to your mind. One more essay. 315 and 330. So in this session, we are going to cover first 315, then 330, and finally, I will also try to cover essay 320, which is materiality. Now, there is a huge link between 315 and 330. Anyone? What is the link between 315 and 330? 315, you are going to dash and dash the risk. The risk of material misstatement, chances, tettam, tapavalam, chances. So this is something which is there in financials, chances of misstatement. 315, what are you going to do? Come on, what are you going to do? You are going to correct, identify, and you are going to assess. By using which procedure? And which procedure we are going to use? By performing, that's correct, risk assessment procedure. Okay, say for example, purchases or sales, whatever it is. In purchases, we understood control is weak, purchase is not authorized, purchase policy is not there, our purchase manager is constantly on leave. So we assess, identify and assess risk in purchases more. Now, if it is more, can you qualify the audit report as per 705 directly? No. We will try to reduce the risk to an low level, acceptable low level, respond. So that is in essay. In essay 330. So 330, you are going to respond. Respond to what risk? Already we have identified and assessed, no. respond to the assessed risk. Ma'am, how do we respond? Now tell me the procedure. Which procedure is used to respond? It is further audit procedure. Okay. So the relationship between a risk and further audit procedure, direct or inverse? Is it direct or inverse? Risk and further audit procedure. If risk is high, further procedure also high. So it is directly related. Correct. Now, why this is there? Towards the end, if the time permits, we will take up. See, you won't respond to every risk. Okay, we will respond only if the risk is 320. What is 320 all about? Only if the risk is material. So 320 is materiality. So today's session target is these 3 essays. Okay. So any doubts? If no, can we start with 315? Come on, guys. 315? Yes. Come on. Okay. Now keep replying. Which essay we said? Essay 315, right? What is 315 name? Just study what is the concept. Then you can formulate the phrases. I mean, the entire essay name, risk. What are you going to do with the risk? Identify and assess. So identifying and assessing the risk of ROMM, risk of material misstatement. How? Through understanding what the entity means the company, the client, and the environment. The environment, not the other environment. Come on. Environment means what? Mainly they are talking about internal control. Wherever control is weak, risk is high. So 315, identifying and assessing risk of material misstatement through understanding the entity and its environment. Okay. Now, so in this essay, are we going to modify the opinion? Modify the opinion. Which essay will come? Modify the opinion. Which essay? That is in essay 705. See, each essay has duty. Okay, it says to the practitioner, auditor, CA, this essay you are going to identify and assess risk. How? By understanding the entity and its environment. How he will do? By performing RAP. That's it. This is the main objective of this essay. So, the objective of this standard is, as we said already, to identify and always these two words comes together. Identify and assess risk. How? By understanding. Can you say 3 things? What are those 3 things? Entity, client, environment. One word I left off. The main word. Very good. Internal control system. Okay. Now, risk can be either, okay, there is no purchase manager is on leave. 10 crore of purchases may be misstated. Can we always quantify risk? Number can we always say it in numerics? Always can we say it in numerics? No. So risk can be either in quantitative terms. Okay, purchases, there is a risk of 10 crore. Or at times, okay, purchase manager is on leave, but we can't say. So it can be either non-quantitative terms. Okay. If purchase is misstated, okay, if there is a risk in purchases, it affects the entire FSR or mainly P&L. Now, don't say profit is affected, so balance sheet is affected. Main impact is on what? If there is an issue in purchases, main impact is in class of transaction. Now, there is a risk in share capital or there is a risk in loans, then it is balance sheet. So, risk can be, come on, there is a phrase, no? Balance sheet alone can affect, P&L alone can affect, or notes alone can affect. So risk assessment can be with respect to, can I write the short form? A, B, C, D. A, B is account balance, balance sheet. C is class of transaction, P&L. D is disclosure notes. Now, guys, oh my God, ask me what happened. Oh, there is a risk with respect to going concern. Going concern. Essay. I will ask. Going concern. Essay. 570. So if there is a risk with respect to going concern, it will affect overall FSR or only account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. Such a risk will affect overall FS. So risk assessment 1, 2. Is and or. Quickly reply. Few are saying and, few are saying or. Answer is and. And. See. Sorry. Okay. See, risk can happen with respect to either of these two. But both these risks we should assess. Am I correct? Both we have to assess. No. So answer is and. If someone asks risk, how it can happen either in ABCD or overall FS. But here the phrase was, as an auditor, which risk you have to assess? Both. Okay. Very good. Now, how to assess risk? We have already said we will perform which procedure? Risk assessment procedure. You call it as RAP. RAP. But how do you perform risk assessment procedure? Risk assessment is like what to do. How you will perform risk assessment procedure. First, we will go and, hey management, where are the controls weak? You will inquire. Now you will go and asset, inventory, observation. Now books, financials, etc. You can perform what? Inspection. One thing I left off. Risk assessment procedure comprises of inquiry, observation, inspection. One more. Which one? Very good. We can also do comparison. Auditing. In auditing, comparison is called as analytical procedure. An analytical procedure. Which essay came to your mind? This revision session, come on. 520. Okay. Now these four, okay, are part of RAP, risk assessment procedure. Okay. Now, as an auditor, are we concerned with every risk? Okay, every risk. No, we are not concerned with business risk. We are not concerned with immaterial risk. So what risk we are concerned? Only big risk, material risk. You call it as, what you call it as? You call it as significant risk. Okay. So significant risk are those risks that merits whose attention? Auditor's attention. One question can I ask you? Fraud or error more significant? Risk due to fraud or risk due to error? Which is more significant? Fraud. Related party or unrelated party? Related or unrelated party? Say 550 related party says it's high risk. Related party. Routine transaction, non-routine transaction. Routine transaction day to day. Non-routine means exceptional. Very good. Non-routine. Accounting. Always it comes. Accounting. Estimates. Going concern related. By the way, what examples I'm saying? These are the examples of what risk? Significant. Okay. Now, I will assess risk in a different way. Harini will assess risk in another way. Shankar will assess risk in another way. So, risk assessment is a matter of dash and not matter of dash. Anyone? I will assess risk in a different way. Very good. So, risk assessment is a matter of, if I write short form, will you understand? APJ. Come on. Auditor's professional judgment and not dash measurement. Any guesses? Not measure of, very correct. Not measure of, precise measurement. You can't say precise, 100% risk is this much. But if you can assess risk pakka, then it won't be a risk, no. Okay. Now, as an auditor, books mattum. If you are seeing only books, will you identify the risk? No. You have to understand about the, come on, companies A to Z, everything you should understand. Auditor should obtain an understanding of, look, operations of the company. And operations are some illegal operations. Okay, like narcotics. Risk is high. And when I said about narcotics, since it is revision, can I ask you, can you accept a client if there is a lack of integrity in operations? Which essay came to your mind? Since revision, I'm just linking. Which essay came to mind? Not 200, not 210. Very good. SQC or 220, quality control. Now you have to understand about the owner. Owners are some terrorist. Risk is high. From where they obtain the finance? Whether it is public or whether it is from some other illegal sources, where the investments they made, what is the objective of company, what is strategies for operation, what is legal environment, everything you should obtain an understanding. Okay, so understanding of risk, one time, continuous process. Is it one time or continuous process? Maklai, chalo, come on. Understanding, dito is for understanding. Understanding and assessing risk is continuous, and as business changes, risk assessment also changes. What process? Dynamic. And are we clear with the first part? So I'll give you sharp 30 seconds. Just go through. If you have any doubts, any point you have to explain, just put a message. I'll explain. Okay or no? Okay or? ABCD full form. Priya, ABCD stands for AB is account balance. C is class of transaction. D is disclosure, meaning balance sheet, P&L, notes. Account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. Wrapped risk assessment procedure. APJ, auditor's professional judgment. Why you should have all the fun? I will also have fun now. So if you are clear, you have to say proceed. Okay. Now, till now, we were talking about the objective of essay. In this essay, what are we supposed to do? What is the objective? Now, coming to the main part, risk. Hey, we were talking about aid risk, any risk, like which risk? Audit risk, client risk. Correct. We were talking about audit risk, no? Okay. Now, can you say what is audit risk? Audit risk, two phrases are there. One, risk of expressing an what opinion? Inappropriate opinion. When FSR materially misstated. But you saw two things, no? Your opinion is wrong. FSR misstated. Two conditions. It and or. Very important. And or. Just read the sentence. Inappropriate opinion when FSR misstated. So guys, for a risk to come, it should be and. Both should come. FS should have MM. And the opinion should also go wrong. So in other language, when FS has misstatements, I express inappropriate opinion. So can you say in another language? That is, auditor expressed a dash opinion. But he should have expressed a dash opinion. FS, there is an MM. When there is a misstatement, auditor should have expressed what opinion? Aid opinion? Modified. But actually he expressed what opinion? Clean. unmodified. So that is expressing. Audit risk means expressing what opinion? Unqualified opinion. Okay. When FSR materially misstated, meaning he should have issued a modified, but he expressed unmodified. Any doubts in that? Now, can you come here? A lot of students have been messaging me. I think 1 or 2 will be here in the session itself. Please listen carefully. In ICI past exam questions, 2 times they have asked, what is audit risk? What is not included in audit risk? Now, can you reply? FSR not misstated, but opinion is inappropriate. Is it an audit risk? FSLR, basically there is no misstatements, but I thought misstatement was there and I expressed inappropriate opinion. Is it an audit risk? Answer is no. Why? For a risk to come, both the condition, this condition is absent. But ma'am, auditor expressed wrong opinion. Ama. See, that ICA will take care under C Act. But it does not fall under, not detection risk. It is not a risk at all. Audit risk alla. It does not fall in the definition of audit risk. But audit risk to come, these 2 conditions should be there. FSR not misstated. So it is not risk as per 315. Now see. FS misstatement is there. But I expressed an appropriate opinion. Is it an audit risk? Answer is no. Why? Again, 2 conditions should be there. This is there, but I express appropriate opinion, so not an audit risk. Now, business risk, like competition, increase in cost, increase in tax, it's all client risk. It is not audit risk. Why? Because of this, there is no misstatements. Last one. Fines, penalty came because there was a negligence on the part of auditor. Auditor was negligent, guys. Negligent means careless. Because of this, some fines and penalty company had to pay. Because some tax liability, etc. was wrong. See, as far as there is no misstatement in FS, it is not an audit risk. But because of this negligence, opinion wrong, FS also, if it was misstated, then it becomes misstatement. Audit risk. So the main point is for an audit risk to come, guys, get it in your mind, put it, there should be a misstatement in FS. Why you all are saying, oh, okay. Fine. This is an example of detection risk. Okay. The audit risk is also addressed in another essay. Any guesses? Auditor provides only reasonable assurance. He does not provide an absolute assurance. So there is a risk that some misstatement may remain undetected. Wow, you made me say that. Very good. 200. ILA. What is ILA and flower? Inherent limitations of audit. But if this much is clear, can you say proceed? Any doubts? Okay. See, audit risk has how many components? Audit risk has how many components? Basically, audit risk has 3 components. What are those 3 components? It is inherent risk, IR. Next, CR, control risk, and DR, detection risk. Now, can you just say keywords only? The inherent risk. So, for example, technology changes. Okay, you are auditing a company where huge technology change and closing stock is overvalued or undervalued, whatever it is. See, can this technology change be prevented? by audit procedure, detected by procedure? No. Prevented by control? No. It's inherent. Inherent. So there's words, guys. Some words is there. Susceptibility. Susceptibility means vulnerability, prone, chances that either overall FS or account balance, class of transaction, disclosure is misstated. Before controller, after controller. Okay, this risk will come even if there is no control. Control ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും ഇരുന്നാലും ഇല്ലെന്നാലും വരും. So it comes before control, meaning it's not because of control failure. That is inherent risk. Okay. Now what is control risk? There are collusion among the employees. Say control fails to detect misstatement. Such risk, because of failure of control, is called as control risk. Meaning, risk that what will come? Misstatement. Tappu. Risk that misstatement may come. Where? In overall FS or ABCD, account balance, class of transaction, disclosure, which is not, there are 3 words, which is not, can I write short form? DPC, detected, prevented, corrected. Detected, prevented or corrected. By what? Because of failure of internal control on a timely basis. So control risk comes because of weakness in control. Last one, detection risk. Hey, why detection risk happens? Same. Risk that, same sentence, risk that misstatement may come with respect to overall FS ABCD, which is not detected by. Very good. Detected by audit procedure. Meaning my procedure goes wrong. But wait. Now this detection risk is again divided into sample can go wrong, something other than sample can go wrong. If sample goes wrong and my opinion goes wrong, it's called as sampling risk. But I selected a wrong sample and I expressed a wrong opinion. Why? Because of sample. Sample is your procedure. Now, something other than sample goes wrong. Like your procedure goes wrong. Correct sample, but wrong procedure. Such risk is called as non-sampling risk. At which risk you can reduce IRA, CRA, DRA? Which risk you can reduce? Ganga, I asked you, you means auditor. Answer is only one risk we can reduce. Which one? This risk you can reduce to reduce to an what level? Acceptable low level. How? By performing more procedure. Now, how will you reduce? That is in which essay? How will you reduce? By performing more procedure. I understood. By performing further procedure. So that is in which essay? That is in 330. Paper. Now, these two risks, one because of internal control failure, one is because of something susceptible. These two risks, can you reduce? Can you go and design the control? No. So these two risks only you can identify and you can't reduce, no, assess. So these two risks together, you call it as risk of material misstatement. ROM. Chinna assay. Can we put a formula? Audit risk is equal to, formula please. Inherent risk into control risk into a not plus into detection risk. Common take out, don't take R. Common is these two. Risk of material misstatement into detection. I'll give you 1 minute rest. Before that, last question. What is the relationship between these two? Risk of material misstatement and detection risk. Directly related, inversely related. And if risk increases, procedure increase. If procedure increases, detection risk reduce. So these are inversely related. Are we clear with it? Ida, if a question comes from audit risk as such, not understanding of the entity, not understanding RAP, no, just the audit risk, you can quote as per essay 200 also. Because 200 is the basic essay which says about risk. Risk cannot be reduced to 0. But if any question comes from this part, 315 only. Only for this, you may quote as essay 200 reference. Hello guys, are we clear with this? So sharp 1 minute. In 1 minute, if you have any doubt, let me know. Otherwise, in sharp 60 seconds, I want you to say proceed. We said objective of 315. Then we were saying about what is audit risk. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. Wow. Then do one thing. I will ask you 3 questions. You say which risk. Okay. Venda. Lack of sufficient working capital to continue operations or declining industry characterized by large number of business failure. Which risk is that? Is it inherent, control, detection, or none? Because of this, going concern will be affected. If going concern is affected, FS is affected, so it is risk. See, characterized, whatever control is there, this risk will come. It is characteristics. Character, yeah, vulnerability, swabhavam, it's inherent. So answer is yeah. But if control can be implemented, then no business will fail. Some business characteristics inherent. Financial transaction that require complex calculation. Say, for example, accounting estimates, like some provisions. Which risk is that? Will everyone reply? See, Ranjit, you are doing 100% procedure. Can you reduce the risk in estimates? Estimate may change. It is unpredictable. Now, for those people who are saying control, if a company implemented Pakka control, can you say provision for bad debts, provision for litigation can be 100% correct? Can control prevent this risk? No. It estimates in their inherent feature. What is estimates? Estimates is an approximation. So this is also an example of what risk only? Inherent. Control cannot prevent. Your procedure also cannot prevent. Estimates. Okay. Wrong audit procedure on correct sample. Like human error or wrong procedure. You performed more inquiry rather than recalculation. Okay. In detection risk, which risk? Non-sampling risk. Last question. Adverse publicity. They are doing adverse publicity. You know, they are giving false advertisement about the company. And can I ask you something? Is it an audit risk or business risk? Because of this, there is no material misstatement in FS. So, it is not an audit risk, it is a business risk. And for an audit risk to come, there should be a misstatement in FS. There is no misstatement, so it's not an audit risk. Okay, Anna. Okay, va. Is it okay? Okay. And one more thing is there. With that, we will complete 315. Chodikyo, Kelanga, ask me what it is. Guys, ask. Components of internal control. See, if someone asks you, a risk of material misstatement has how many components? Risk of material misstatement. I'm asking you risk. 2. Inherent risk and control risk. Audit risk has how many components? 3. Inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Now, detection risk has how many components? 2. Sampling and non-sampling. Now, internal control has how many components? 5. Usually, I don't use the acronym, but still. I'm just putting the first word. Creamy. Creamy. Now, guys, who has to design the controls? Achacho. Who has to design the control? Management. But just think, don't by heart. If you by heart, maybe next week you'll forget. See, this is the company. Okay. So for designing the control, first they need what? Control environment. Now in control environment, first, what is it? Organization. There should be a organization. Organization. Structure should be there. In structure, top, who has to be there? Top. TCWG participation. If TCWG is weak, control is weak. Below TCWG, who has to come? Management philosophy and style. If their philosophy is not proper, control is weak. Mind you, these are the components of IC. Now, organization structure is there, TCWG is there, management is there. Below management, who should come? Human resources, employees, their recruitment policies is not proper. Control is weak. These human resources should be competent to competence. If they're not competent, then they're not committed also. Then control is weak. And finally, the entire organization should have ethical values and integrity. All these are part of control environment. Don't pause. Next one. Krimi. Next letter, R. R stands for what? R. Yeah, R stands for risk assessment procedure. Whose risk assessment procedure are we talking here? Makla, don't lose the flow. It is components of IC. IC has to be implemented by management. So whose risk assessment procedure? Management. Will they implement control equally in every area? No. So as a management, first they will identify and assess risk, where risk is high, risk is low. Now, if risk is high, its significance, big risk. Whether it is one time or frequency, likelihood, if more time it's coming, they have to respond by more control in that area. So all these are part of risk assessment procedure by management while designing control. And essay last part only, but this essay is over. Can you say next one? I. I stands for what? I stands for information system, Tally, QuickBook, ERP. You have a topic itself called as automated environment. So information system is a part of control. So every transaction that is happening, it should be, come on, Tally. It should be captured. Once captured, it should be recorded as journal entry. Yeah, process only. Once recorded, it should be posted. Post or classified. No transaction should be omitted. Information system should capture every transaction. What if 10 transactions are omitted? Control is weak. Now, for that, control should be there where? The basic of account. Where it starts? Journal entry. So, surrounding journal entries. So, these are the points with respect to IS. IS is information system. Are you following? If so, what is M? M stands for control is there, but whether control is proper, it should be monitored. M is monitoring. Hey. Monitoring means continuous checking. There is 2 points there. Continuous checking by one, internal audit. But when you hear about internal audit, what else will come to your mind? I'm just asking, not required here. SA 610 will come. One more area. Wherever you go, I'm there. Caro clause number 14. Now, internal check. Work of one person checked by another. So these two are part of monitoring. Yo. Sure. Last. Over. Entities control activity. Entities control activity. So, as a part of your company's internal control, mind you, flow pogale, it is components of IC. Okay. So, first, every transaction should be authorized. Authorization should be there. Now, segregation of duties, one person should not be given control. Information processing should be proper. If base is wrong, whatever automated control is there, there should be some physical controls. One thing I left off. Anyone? One more point was there in entities control activity. Very good. There should be a periodic review. Now you have seen in the Emmanuel movie, right? Malayalis, you have seen Emmanuel. They will come and check the employees. The employees have not attained the target, they will dismiss them. So that's periodic review. Ade, what is this? Black color, wow. Blue color, wow. What is this, guys? All these are components of internal control. So, guys, let's summarize which essay we started. It's been 40 minutes. Yeah. Which essay we started? Essay 315. First, what did we say? Objective of this essay to identify and assess risk. Then we said about audit risk. 200 can be also referred. IR, CR, DR. Then we said about the components of IC. So to conclude, in this essay, what did you do? You have identified and assessed the risk of material misstatement by performing risk assessment procedure. That's it. With that, 315 is ta-ta. So how was 315? If all set, you can take rest for 1 minute because our session is just 2 hours. So I can't give you a break for 10 minutes, etc. Okay. So take rest for 1 minute. Okay. But let me know, how was it? Did you follow? Okay. So take rest for 1 more minute and let me know by saying 3:30. Our session is risk assessment. Risk assessment, we have identified and assessed risk. Okay, so in our hands, risk is there. Now, how to reduce it, how to respond, other 330. Okay, so let me know. I'll just take 330 and keep. Okay, how's things going? IND. Identify and assess risk, Ranjit. Identify and assess risk. I'll share the screen. I'll just take 330 and share back. So guys, let's chit chat for 30 seconds. How's life going? Everything good? Uh-uh. Going on good. Okay. Good. Okay. Very good. Hmm. No, I won't ask for the house studies. I'm not asking. Don't worry. So 30 seconds more. In 30 seconds, say 330. 330. What is 330? Response. Yes. Come on, 330. Tell me. Okay, proceed. So 315, you have identified and assessed risk. Right. Now in 330, what are you going to do? You are going to respond. And I want all your support. Okay. So 330, auditors dash. We have already said no auditors. What? Responses to what? Assessed risk. And now wait. You have assessed risk as per which essay? We said in the example, no, purchasers control is weak. So we have assessed the risk as per 315. Now in 330, you are going to respond. Are we clear? Okay. So guys, so perform. Objective of essay 330. What is the objective? Objective. To perform which procedure? The already risk is there. To reduce it to an acceptable level, perform further audit procedure. FAP. Why are you performing FAP? To obtain evidence of what already you have assessed. Evidence about assessed risk. Now, why are you performing FAP? To reduce the assessed risk to an. And a risk is there. More procedure on purchases. If you perform risk to an extent, you can reduce. Risk to acceptable low level. So objective of this essay is to perform FAP, further procedure. Why? To reduce the risk. But you cannot make risk 0. See, that's why we quoted essay 200. Due to inherent limitations of audit, there is an inherent limitation that risk cannot be reduced to 0. So that's it about the objective of essay 330. Perform FAP, reduce risk. Now, what are the requirement of this essay? What is the requirement? 1, you will perform overall response. Say, for example, tell me one risk which is completely affecting complete FS is affecting? Tell me. One risk which affects the entire FS. Okay, my example you're saying, everything, okay, say, going concern. There is a risk when going concern. So, how will you respond? So, first, you will evaluate or you will assess the risk. Risk is there. Then, I thought company was okay. Now, company is not okay. There is a risk in foreseeable future. So, you will revise the understanding of entity. Now you will face emphasis on which procedure? Can you split further procedure? Can you split further procedure? Further audit procedure comprises of comprises of test of control. The test of control and not test of detail. Good. Substantive audit procedure. When you reply, put chat to everyone, okay? Individual messages, I'm not saying, okay? Reply to everyone you put. Okay. So guys, I've lost the flow. So see, we have got the risk. You going concern risk is there. So overall, how will you respond? So you'll see, risk, assess the risk. Oh, it's not like what I thought. Revise your understanding. Now, how can you respond? By performing more further procedure. Further procedure comprises of test of control and substantive procedure. See, we said risk can happen to overall FS or risk can happen to specifically ABCD. Here we were responding to the overall risk. Now, risk with respect to specific account balance. Okay, now you will design the design. What you will design? Design nature, timing, and extent of further procedure. Will you perform further procedure equally? No. So further audit procedure depends on what? How risk is coming. You will see the reasons. Purchases. Liana, I'm coming to that, Kuta. First, you will see the reasons of misstatement. Why purchase risk? Okay, purchase manager is not there. Invoice is not authorized. Reasons you will see. Now you will see the likelihood. How many times it is coming? Likelihood of occurrence. Whether the risk is happening frequently. Now you will see, for materiality, can we say significance? Significance of risk. But if significant risk, you need more evidence or less evidence. You big risk, material risk, you need more dash evidence. Can you say what evidence? One word is there. You need more convincing evidence. We have to be satisfied. So we need more what evidence? Very good. Persuasive evidence. Pervasive is completely affected. Vyabhagama fulla. Vyabhagamaita. Persuasive means the one which we wrote. Supporting, like more convincing. Corroborative is supporting. See, if it is a specific risk, you can see the reasons. Then, how many times that risk is coming? Then whether it is significant, if so, more evidence. Did you understand why requirement was divided into two? Because risk is also divided into two types of response. For overall risk like this. For specific ABCD like this. If this much clear, please, I want everyone to reply. Corroborative means supporting. Devu, corroborative means supporting. Persuasive means bodhipikina, convincing evidence. Here you need more convincing. Whenever there is a inconsistency, difference under, you need more supporting corroborative evidence. And unless all replies, I won't continue. And something big going to come. In fact, if you say only, I will proceed. Here, which procedure you have to perform more, we said further audit procedure. Further audit procedure is also addressed in another essay, evidence collection. Which essay? Essay 500, audit evidence. You want me to take further audit procedure in detail? That is, further audit procedure comprised of test of control and substantive audit procedure. We just said no, but something very big going to come, guys. Okay. Will you concentrate or not? If you say yes or no, only I will proceed. Yes? You have to show all your whatever you call here. Something very good, big going to come. That's why 15-second music. So, Madhi, no reaction. Come on, start. Makla, start. Camera, action. If you reply, 30 more seconds, I'll play that song after you wind up. Okay? So, where are we? I have lost the flow because of the music. Can you say where were we? We were in further audit procedure. Further audit procedure comprises of, can you reply? Further audit procedure comprises of what? Test of controls and substantive audit procedure. And I've played the music, so something big going to come. Okay, sit straight. What is test of control all about? In test of control, auditor is going to do what? Can someone say? He is going to check the internal controls. Can we say deviations? Okay. Now, what is the next procedure? Substantive audit procedure. Now wait. Now wait. Now going to, a very big thing going to come. Sit straight. Test of control. Who has to design the control? Hello? Who has to design the control? Control has to be designed by management. So as an auditor, you will check whether, say for example, in a cinema theater, person to tear the ticket, he should be there, he should tear the ticket for all the shows. So whether internal control are undo, irka, existence. Once it is there, it should. Operating effective. Not only a day, continuously, continuity or consistency. Now, why controls are there? Controls are designed to detect, prevent. One word I lost. Controls are designed to DPC. Detect, prevent, one more word. And correct the misstatements. See, whether the controls are detecting, preventing, and correcting misstatements on a timely basis. That also we will see. Now, management designed the controls. Now, I have to perform inquiry. Who designed the control? How they designed? So you will ask, who applied the control? Hey, purchase means purchase manager. If purchase manager, Pune, control is weak. I'm just giving respect to Pune. I'm just saying it's not proper authority. Who applied the control? How they applied the control? to what? Adapt to what? Extend the applied the control. Okay. Nature of control. All this auditor will inquire. Hey, nature of control means control's frequency, whether it's there, control length throughout, whether there is any deviation. Deviation means മാറ്റങ്ങൾ, അതായത് something outside the policies, whether it is effective. Did you know? Ask me what happened. Come on, Dheeras, ask me what happened. Purchase was authorized by inventory manager. Control weak, correcta deviation. Purchases instead of purchase manager, it was authorized by inventory manager. Control correcta deviation. Deviation. So if there is any deviation, auditor will conduct general inquiry, specific inquiry. Why this purchase was authorized by inventory manager? Meaning specific inquiry. Okay. See, instead of purchase manager, inventory manager authorized, because it was purchase manager's marriage. He went for his marriage. 1 day, 1 week leave. So he delegated the authority. Come on, it is his marriage, no? So delegating the authority and inventory manager doing. Proper or improper? Answer is proper. So that is an alternative control. Control including alternative, compensatory, or you call it as indirect control. All these you should evaluate. Main control as well as backup control. Don't say backup, compensatory, alternative, indirect control have to be evaluated. Okay. Now guys, will control change every year? Will internal control change every year? In some companies, control are same for last 4-5 years. Some company control will change. If there is no changes in control, can't we use audit evidence of prior period about control, or audit period of interim period? Can't we use? If there is no change, you can use the evidence. Okay, you can use the audit evidence about control of prior period or interim if no changes. But Pillare, inquiry of control provides sufficient evidence, does not provide sufficient evidence. Inquiry of controls alone provides or does not provide? Doesn't provide. Can I write short form? Sufficient and appropriate evidence. Are we clear with the test of control main thing? We saw whether controls are there, existence, if so, operating, continuity. Whether control, detect, prevent, and correct misstatement. For that, we perform inquiry: who, how, what, nature. Then, when we inquired, there was a deviation. If deviation, we ask specifically how. Then we see alternative and compensatory also. If no changes, prior period or interim period evidence can be used. However, guys, control alone, inquiry of control alone will not provide you with all evidence. Had TUC provided all evidence, there is no meaning for SAP. So here I'm concluding, test of control cannot provide you with all evidence. So go for SAP, substantive procedure. Harini, compensatory control means backup control. If one control is not there, there should be a backup. No. If purchases manager is on leave, there should be another person to authorize. That another person is called as backup or alternative, second control. If not this, that. Come on. Others, can you say proceed? I said while I put this on. Ade, I lost the flow. Which procedure were we in? Flow gone. Which procedure? FAP. FAP, which procedure? Test of control. Now, guys, I have 3 questions to you. If possible, answer. All these are supporting test of control. But since it is revision class, I'm going here and there. And if there is no changes in control മാറ്റമൊന്നുമില്ല. Last year control itself is current year. Interim period, quarter 1 we saw. Same control is in the next quarter also. Then no need to test again. Same alle. If there is no changes in control, you can already, you can use the evidence already obtained. Advait, control മാറ്റം മലയാളമാണോ? Control മാറ്റമൊന്നും ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ you can use the already collected evidence if there is no changes in control. Aida, can you reply? When you need more persuasive evidence of control, you need to increase dash and increase dash on internal control. This was a past exam MCQ. Ada, can you say, when you need more persuasive evidence? Others, Priya, I'll come back to you. Others, can you say, when you need more persuasive evidence? Persuasive evidence means you need more convincing evidence about control. If you want to get more convincing evidence, increase TOCR, decrease TOCR. Increase test of control. What is the meaning of persuasive? Persuasive means convincing, right? So if you have to be more convinced, you should be able to place more reliance or less reliance on controller and increase the reliance on control. I will explain that point with another simple example. In our class, there is a boy called as Advait. I want to be convinced. I want to be convinced. So I will ask him more questions. Every answer he is saying false. He is saying everything, tappu. Will I be convinced? No. I have to ask him more questions. Through that question, he should reply well. Then only I will be convinced. You agree? Same way, I have to perform more test of control. Through that, I should obtain reliable evidence, reliance on control. Then only I will be convinced. Yes, no? Others? That's note 1. Note 2. Internal control is designed by management. As an auditor, you have to decide on test of control. If control is weak, you'll perform additional test. Risk is high. Why are you performing TOC? Are you going to express opinion on control? Give me yes or no answer. No. Then endinade. Then why are you testing control? To know where all risk is there. If risk is there, more additional tests should be there. Last. Extent of dash has to be increased when results of TOC are unsatisfactory. Makla, we performed. The entire thing was test of control. We perform more test of control. Okay. And it is unsatisfactory. Control is weak. Then what has to be increased? If control is weak, hello, I'm expecting you to reply. This is a very easy question. TOC weak. TOC is unsatisfactory. So you have to increase. Confirm. SAP. The purchase is full week. So won't you do more TOD and analytical? SAP is substantive audit procedure. Mohammed, no, don't say additional quota. See, we were performing TOC. If TOC was okay, SAP will increase or decrease? Tell me, through control, test of control, you got good evidence about control. Control is effective. Then you will decrease SAP. Now here, what did I say? Through test of control, you thought control is unsatisfactory. Then you have to increase SAP, no? So substantive procedure should be increased when test of controls are unsatisfactory. Not test of control, results of test of control is unsatisfactory, meaning internal control deviations is there. But any essay came to your mind when you thought about internal control other than 330 and 500? Control the deviation, control the weakness. Any other essay came to your mind? Very good. 265. Come on, Dheeras. Risk assessment, only 2 essay, 315 and 330. Now we are in 330. 330, which procedure are you performing? Can you reply? 330, which procedure? FAP. Okay. FAP, there are how many procedures? 2. Test of control and FAP. We performed test of control. Okay, Ano, Allio. Tell me whether it's okay or not. Say, since it is revision class, I'm taking the TOC from 330, 500 and linking with 265. Hello, remaining song I will play after SAP. If this much is clear, can you say proceed? Makle, life is a race. Run, 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 run. Run where? Towards successful? Where is the... So in substance, okay. In FAP, further audit procedure, we now perform test of control. What is the next procedure in further procedure? FAP, full form. Substantive audit procedure. And in a company, risk is low. Can you avoid SAP? Oh no, I'm not performing SAP. Can you omit SAP? If risk is low, can you omit SAP? No. So this has to be performed irrespective of risk. Now, how much to perform? That will depend upon risk. However, substantive procedure cannot be avoided. It has to be performed irrespective of risk. Now, SAP comprises of, what are the 2 main procedures there? First, test of details. TOD, test of details. And can I know why test of details are performed? Test of control for deviations in control. You don't say misstatement in control, you say deviation. Test of details is performed to detect, very good, material misstatement. For that, you will test the, you've heard vouching verification, where you test the journal entries. Now, this test of details is again divided into 2. May I know what is it? It can be either test of transactions or test of balances. What's the difference, guys? Transactions, this is balances. Test of transaction is mainly for which item? Test of transaction. P&L account item. Whereas test of balances is for what? Balance sheet item. Generally, you call this as vouching, and this you call it as verification. Hey, repairs and machinery, repairs and maintenance of machinery, you see. Which one? Test of transaction. Now you verify the debtors ledger. Test of balances, balance sheet and P&L. Diras, where were we? We were in SAP, Substantive Audit Procedure. Substantive means detailed. Now in SAP, what did you perform? Test of details. Now one more procedure is there. Come on guys, we'll wind up in 3 minutes. Very good. We will perform substantive analytical procedure. But don't say only analytical procedure. You have to say substantive analytical procedure. Can I know the logic why substantive analytical procedure? Say, you remember, even in risk assessment procedure, analytical was there. Wait. Yes, no, can you say? In 315, when you identify and assess risk, there is also there. So, analytical procedure is a part of RAP and SAP. Risk assessment, you do comparison, analytical. Further procedure also. But in further procedure, detailed comparison. That's why substantive. What substantive? Google, if you ask, it's detailed. So, can you say in one phrase, what is substantive analytical procedure? Comparison. Through comparison, you get what evidence? Relevant and reliable evidence. Relevant and reliable is called as appropriate. The test of details are analytical, provides you with more quantitative evidence, uttiri evidence. Which one? TOD. So TOD provides you with sufficient and analytical provides you with appropriate. So test of details plus analytical provides you dash and dash evidence. Sufficient and appropriate. Are we clear with it? We were in further procedure. In further procedure, substantive audit procedure. In that is divided into test of details and substantive analytical. Hey, substantive analytical, essay, trend analysis, ratio, structural modeling, reasonableness, 520. Seconds rest. Last one more part, maybe 2 minutes, then 320 I'll say in 5 minutes. With that, we are going to question. 30 seconds, eh? With that, say proceed. La 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 la. But wait. Why are you performing FAP? Cinema is going to get over. I'm asking you who is the hero. Don't say it is villain's name, please. Why are you performing FAP? Hi. To reduce risk. Right. In FAP, there are TOD and analytical, substantive analytical. Now, see, auditor shall determine to perform analytical to respond to risk, or he can determine he is performing only test of detail. The performing only analytical, performing only TOD, performing both the most responsive to risk. Performing only one, performing only two, both right. So combination of test of details and analytical will give you most responsive to risk. If risk is more, perform more procedure, more audit procedure, more risk, more procedure. And ask me what happened. Oh, you sadness here. Ask me what happened. Even after doing this much, I'm unable to obtain evidence. And a disclaimer, okay. Can I say modify? Essay 705. So either you perform analytical or you perform test of detail, but most responsive is combination. Test of details, sufficient, analytical is appropriate evidence. If risk more, perform more SAP, but still if you are unable, modify 705. And are you getting the points which I'm saying? Don't sleep off, don't go for the dinner time, guys. But guys, SAP alone can provide you with all the evidence. But if substantive audit procedure can provide every evidence, there is no need of TOC LA. So, substantive audit procedure is the main procedure, but it alone cannot provide all sufficient and appropriate evidence. You need TOC also. But just think, if SAP can provide every evidence, then why are you doing TOC? Here also, you can obtain audit evidence used in previous audit, like opening balance, closing balance. Ada, with that, we have finished. Which essay, you know? Did you think 330 this much? Actually, I've gone to 500 also. Wait, I will sum up. What is 330 all about? Flow gone. You are performing SAP. Why? To reduce the risk. Overall response, and you'll design the specific. Now, when you design, which procedure you will design? Hello? SAP. SAP will, which all are there? Test of controls and SAP. That is the one which we are discussing in detail. Ade Nakshatra. And I want everyone's reply. Did you understand or not? But you guys were replying quite well. Enough. Oh, got afraid by hearing this song. എടാ നീ ഉറങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നോടാ അതൊക്കെ let me video call him and say what he was doing to be afraid by hearing this. Let me video call him up. Others, jokes apart. 315, RAP, identify and assess risk. 330, SAP, TOC and SAP to respond to risk. Now there was a standard in between. Middle. 315, 330, 320. Since time is running, I will say 320 in 3 minutes. Hi, 320 in 3 minutes. Others, it's question time. Gear up. Can you say 320 in one word? Materiality. In which phase you will fix materiality? Okay, 1 crore. Which phase you will fix? Planning. Is it only in planning phase? You fix 1 crore. While you are performing the audit, you may revise it. So, materiality in planning and performing of audit. Materiality can be 1 crore. Any amount more than 1 crore is material individually. Now, there was a misstatement of 25 lakhs. Like that, 5 amounts are there. In aggregate, it becomes material. So, materiality can be either individually or in aggregate. Aggregate materiality, you call it as what? Very good. You call it as performance materiality. Now, what is the relationship between Audit risk and materiality. Directa, inversa. At a more item material, Liana, more item material, you'll perform more procedure. Sriniti, why all are saying direct? Makle, more item material, more audit procedure. If audit procedure increases, audit risk will decrease. Wow, why most of you are saying direct? So answer is inversely related. Okay, that's enough. So with that, it's almost 1.5 hours. So last half an hour, we'll do question. So can you just take rest for 1 minute? And within 1 minute, say Q, 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 Q. Q means question time. Dinner time. Hungry? No, ma'am, we are eating already. You. Okay, question time. Wait, I'll come up with a question now. Wait, 1 second, give me. We'll discuss one integrated MCQ. Integrated means case study. Then I'll go to 1 or 2 descriptive question also. Okay. See, in integrated MCQ or descriptive question, whatever it is, do like for the exam. Those who have attended the class, they might know, but still for others, MCQA, there are few tips which I'll say in 1 minute. One, whenever big question like this comes, read from the question first. Second, big question comes, not integrated, individual. Read from the last sentence. Last sentence will have what the question wants. Third, maximum 25 to 30 minutes. Don't exceed. Fourth, once you have read, you have bubbled it, you read 2 times. Don't read, check. You might lose the time. You may get confused. Your morale will go down. Fifth, do MCQ either in the beginning 2 to 2:30 or do in the middle somewhere 3 to 3:30. In the end, you will be like more tensed. Okay. And if you're stuck, use the rolling out technique. Can you acknowledge whether you heard this? So with these words, can we start? And when question comes, ruling out technique. See, it's not A, it's not D. So it is either B or D. That's ruling out. We always do that. Correctly, Anna. Thank you. So guys, if in the exam, as I said, last 1 month before the exam, 2 advices, whenever you do the questions, please do like you do for the exam. So whatever technique in the exam, you do like that. Second, everything when you study or even the classes or whatever you hear, it's my humble request. It's just an advice actually. You hear in English. You know what? If you hear in Malayalam or your Tamil or whatever it is, you may feel easy. But you have to write the exam in English. Don't you agree with me? So when you hear it in your own language, you feel very easy and you can reproduce. But you have to write our exam only in English. So last 1 month, please, even when you say and study, don't say it in your language, say it in English. Shiri. So start. What risk is portrayed in booking revenue with respect to banquet halls? Now we have not read the case study. Right? Integrated case study. So can you go in search of banquet halls? Can someone help me? One. The hotel has 2 banquet hall. The documentation available for verification of banquet hall revenue is only invoice raised by the hotel. Some mail conversations of customer inquiry and finalization. On audit trail, it was found that final approval of transactions only after invoices sent to them for accounting of final settlement. Advances are paid by the clients are not vetted through the system. There is a weakness in the system. And it's a hotel. Invoice is not proper. Without seeing the invoice, they are paying. Okay. Now they are asking you, what risk is portrayed in revenue booking of banquet hall? Which risk? Is it inherent risk? Is it control risk? Is it audit risk or detection risk? Makla, you just read no. Everyone reply, even if it is wrong, it's fine. Which risk? See, you said control system is weak, so it is control risk. Okay. 2. Which among the following statement is incorrect? I'm going to ask, no? Ruling out technique is what? Right now I'll show you. See, here they want false. So out of the 4 option A, B, C, D, 3 will be correct, 1 will be wrong. So use the rule out technique. Makla, you'll say correct or incorrect. More extensive procedure performed, lower the detection risk. More procedure, DR is low. Correcta, incorrecta? Correct. So rule out, they want incorrect. Greater the ROMM, less the detection risk can be accepted. More persuasive evidence is required by auditor. More risk, less DR, more persuasive evidence. We said no, ROMM and DR are inversely related. So this is also correct. They want incorrect. Now C and D you read. So first 2 you have ruled out. Can you say which is the answer? Risk of material misstatement has control and inherent risk. Audit risk is also risk that auditor may express an opinion that FS are misstated when they are not actually. See, we said no. When FS is not misstated, it is not audit risk. So C is the answer. I hope you understood the rollout technique. Who are you choosing? Okay. Now, in case of procurement of stores, the auditor has tested more than one control. What should be his reliance on the control? You remember purchase manager marriage he went because he delegated to the inventory manager, it's fine. So that's called as compensatory, indirect or alternative control. Since compensatory control are identified, tested and evaluated to be effective, auditor may rely. Even though compensatory controls are there, one control is ineffective. Auditor should not rely, should perform extensive. Documentation in electronic medium cannot be accepted. Is that point correct? Audit documentation or evidence can be paper form, electronic, any form. So this is wrong, cut it. Even though compensatory controls are there, since one control is ineffective, auditor should not rely on the control. So can you say it is A or B or D? But if you read the case study, they themselves are saying one control is ineffective. So he tested another control, backup control, compensatory. But I want everyone to reply with A, B, D. Okay, all are replying with B. Any other answer? I'm waiting. Okay, now few are saying A. See, in our case, purchase manager, in our example, he was on leave for his marriage, so he delegated his power to inventory manager, and it's documented. If one control is not there, another control is effective, you can rely on it. Then why are you testing alternative? Alternative test if you are okay. Say idli was not there, so you ate dosha. Dosha, you're satisfied, then why are you going to next food? Idli was not there. You went for dosha. Dosha you ate. You were very satisfied with dosha. Will you go for put also? No, right? So answer is A, not B. Now, what if compensatory controls are ineffective? Then option would have been B. You tested compensatory. Compensatory is also ineffective. Then you extend the procedure. Now, almost many of them said B. Are we clear? Let us say proceed. In the context of SA 315, which is not a risk assessment procedure, they want not inquiry, analytical, observation, external confirmation. We said RAP comprise of inquiry, inspection, observation, analytical procedure. So answer is that was easy, external confirmation. Last question. What should be the course of action for the audit of an entity not having a documented risk assessment process? But for big company, if you go and see Tata, Reliance, Infosys, etc., they have risk management committee itself. They have policies and procedure inside the company how to reduce risk. So here, entity was not having a documented risk assessment process. What auditor should do? Auditor can obtain written representation. Auditor shall discuss with the management how they identified appropriate deficiency. Auditor should ask the management to document an opinion express. Auditor shall discuss with the management, but it is immaterial. See, we said understanding about the entity and its environment in internal control. R is risk assessment procedure. So you have to understand the risk assessment procedure. No. Tell me yes, no. As an auditor, you have to understand the risk assessment also. So it's not immaterial. Can you say A or B or D or? The written representation, essay 580. Okay. It's not a substitute. See, do you express opinion on risk assessment? No, our opinion is only on FS. So answer is B. Guys, how was it? If this is clear, can you say proceed? I'm just waiting for you guys. Can you say proceed? We'll do 2 descriptive questions. Huh? Now come to descriptive. Now, while you say the descriptive question, you have to say as if you are writing the exam. For 4 marks, how will you write? Or for 5 marks, how will you write? Okay, see in the presentation format. Did you hear that? Okay. Read. Satranka Foods Private Limited is manufacturing pickle. Auditors of the company have planned procedures. Despite there is a possibility of misstatement in revenue recognition are not identified by the planned procedure. Identify and explain the risk in detail. Eda, concentrate on the question in the exam. What they said, identify and explain the particular risk in detail. So something related to risk. So risk means inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Can you read once more and say which risk? Very good. Our audit procedure is failing. No, see, despite our procedure, risk is there. Misstatement is there. So detection risk. Now they wanted you to explain the detection risk in detail. Can you say how to present this for the exams? 5 marks, 4 marks you put, 4 marks. How will you present? Just put a heading. Audit risk. How will you start? Main issues with respect to presentation. No. How will you start? Can you say as per 315 or 200? As per essay 200. Write the name of the essay. Overall objective. Audit risk cannot be reduced to 0. Okay. Due to inherent limitations of audit, auditor provides only a dash assurance. Auditor provides what assurance? Reasonable assurance. Just write in one sentence or not more. Now you say, risk comprises of 3 risks, na? Inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Don't elaborate that. Now, which risk? In this case, detection risk. That you have to elaborate. Detection risk is the risk that audit procedure fails to detect misstatement ABCD, blah, blah, blah. That you write in detail. Is that all? We ask you to explain in detail. Anything else you have to add? Something more. Detection risk comprises of sampling risk, non-sampling risk. That also you explain. They have asked you to write in detail, but don't write about IR and CR. No. Okay, this is just one sentence. This is also one sentence. This is elaborate. Now, in the given case, what happened? Satranka Foods Private Limited, auditor's plan procedure is failing or not recognizing the misstatement in revenue recognition. Therefore, how do you conclude? Maklai, how do you conclude? Therefore, it is a detection risk. Can you acknowledge whether you understood the presentation format for the descriptive? Descriptive questions 70 marks are. 70 marks, mainly students say, ma'am, MCQ we can score at least little, but descriptive it is very difficult. But I will say auditing is a scoring subject, provided you present it in the format required with keywords. And all reply whether you understood the answer and the format presentation. Right? Okay. Now going to another question. Question 7. Can you read this question? Auditor of a Sunshine Limited is of the view that greater management intervention to specify accounting treatment, risk of material misstatement is greater for non-routine transaction. Is the view correct? Specify other matters due to which risk is greater for significant non-routine transaction. There's some essay we discussed this. Risk is high for routine or non-routine transaction? Non-routine. Okay, where did we discuss this? Risk significant 315. So here from the question itself you will get the answer. I repeat, from the question itself you will get the answer provided you concentrate. First they asked greater for non-routine. They said, is this correct? Makla correcta incorrecta? Correct ano incorrect ano? Correct. Now specify the matters due to which it is more risk. So they are asking you two things. Is the view correct? Why? Matters, reasons. Now can you reply? How will you present this? Put a heading, no? Heading does not have any marker. It's just for presentation. Significant risk, any heading. Now, how will you write? Makle, as per essay. Which essay you can quote? As per essay. 315. Understanding and assessing risk of material misstatement, blah, 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 blah. Auditor shall perform. Now, can someone support? Auditor shall perform. Which procedure? Risk assessment procedure. Why? To identify and assess risk. Now you write, significant risk are those risks, just one sentence, that merits auditor's attention. Now, non-routine transactions, here they said, are examples of what risk? Example of significant risk due to following matters. Can you say the reason why? 4 points are there. Why it is more risk? Now for routine transaction, they can implement dash. For routine transaction, they can implement dash. What? For routine transaction, they can implement internal control. For non-routine transaction, control fails. Internal control may not be effective. If control is not there, whose intervention should be there? Management intervention should be there. Management means manual. It's not automated. Control is failing. Manual. If it is manual, complex. I said from the question, you will get the answer. What are the matters? These 4. You didn't answer this. Is auditor's views correct or incorrect? Therefore, come on, buddies, tell. Therefore, auditor view is correct. Conclude. If possible, 315 you underline, correct, incorrect, you highlight with the pen itself, black pen itself. Are we clear with the presentation? All reply. Yes. Okay. Okay. Last question for the session. We discussed last question. With that, we are winding up. Don't go. After this question, I'll talk for 5 minutes, and then we'll wind up. But we did integrated MCQ case study. We did 2 descriptive. Now I will discuss one normal question. Normal means Sada MCQ. You know, right? Examiner, they will ask you integrated MCQ, small MCQ, big MCQ. This is an MCQ question. Can you read this? Whenever a big question comes, what did we say? Case study. See, it's a big case study. It's not integrated. It's a Sada MCQ, but big. So from where will you read, guys? Come on. You will read from the last sentence. Now read. with respect to the balance confirmation request. The external confirmation essay 505. Which of the following is as per the requirement of relevant essay? Okay, now read up. Companies engage in manufacturing. Company sells goods on a credit basis. What do you read? Have been appointed as auditor during the course. Partner asks the management about email address for debtors. For obtaining confirmation, management asks sales supervisor to send the confirmation and receive responses. Is that correct? Management is asking sales supervisor to obtain confirmation. Is it valid? Invalid? As per essay 505, external confirmation is a direct written response by auditor to management. No, by auditor to third party, not management. So that's invalid. Management also informed confirmation of two debtors are not available due to dispute. If there is a dispute, you will perform dash procedure. They did not provide you with confirmation, there was a dispute. But if idli is not there, you will go for dosha. So you will go for alternative procedure. Now, can you read two issues, guys? One, management said they will collect and give you. Second, there was a dispute. Ajay should not have relied on the explanation provided by management with respect to those two disputed persons. He should perform alternative. Can you say correcta, incorrecta? You can't just rely, you should perform alternative. Correcta, incorrecta? Just say. Management said dispute. You should have performed alternative. Answer is A option. Correct. Now B. J should have obtained direct responses instead of sales supervisor. Correct? Incorrect? It should be directly obtained by auditor. So that's also correct. Now, C, let it be there. Ajay should have given qualified opinion as to two is not available. And always, if idli is not available, you will for dosha. Then only you will stay hungry. So if one is not there, you will go for alternative. If alternative is also unable, then only you will qualify. So the correct or incorrect, directly you can't qualify saying it is not there. You should perform alternative. So this is incorrect. So answer A, B, C, D. Both A and B are correct. So answer is C. Guys, I'm going to talk for 2 minutes. Will you listen or not? Say yes or not. Then only I'll say. Okay. So buddies, as I always say, auditing is a scoring subject. Like you study for other subject, if you concentrate it on the keywords, key points, you will score the marks. Now let me ask you, MCQ or descriptive, which is more difficult for you? I think my majority of you will say it is descriptive. But one thing you can be very careful is about the descriptive is, I'll give you a few tips about that. See, descriptive question, when you read it, just think, is it essay related or is it other topic related? Okay, other topic is like for intermediate, bank, different entity, items, you can easily identify. Now, if it is essay, which essay? So first thing is identifying the question, which part of auditing. Now, second, once you've identified, many students are writing it general. No. Say, for example, there is a question with respect to inherent limitations of auditing. How many inherent limitations are there for auditing? Tell me. How many inherent limitations are there? 5. nature of financial reporting, nature of procedure, timeliness, audit is not an investigation, future events. If you identify inherent limitation, usually students will write generally. No. Now, which inherent limitation it is? Identify specific point, then elaborate that. First, you identified what topic. Now, in that topic, which is the specific one, don't write general, you won't get the marks, write specific. Now, when you write the specific, use the keywords like inherent limitation. Audit provides only a reasonable assurance. It's a high level of assurance, but not an absolute assurance. Okay, so use the keywords, key languages. Now I repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. You will get the answer from the question. Like, is auditor's viewpoint correct? What are the matters to be considered? So you have to think, or they are asking the viewpoint. So from the question, you will get the answer. Then, if it is a case study question, you have to have, okay, facts up. Okay, just write and proper conclusion. Finally, see whatever said and done, auditing is a theory paper. So, like from bank audit, they will ask you some drawing power calculation or audit risk calculation, how much. Being a theory paper, in the descriptive, you have to write even the simple, silliest step. 9 minus 10, 10 minus 9, 10 minus 9, 10 minus 9 is equal to 1. You know, but you have to write 10 is the that limit, minus 9 is the secured or unsecured, 1 is the portion. Even that calculation you have to show. So, once you do all these things, descriptive is also easily you can score. But provided you read the question well, you identify it, specifically explain, use the keywords. If it is a case study, write the facts and conclude. If possible, highlight the conclusion. Highlight means with the black pen itself. And also if it is essay 315, underline. Your presentation matters a lot. Okay. So auditing is also a scoring subject. Don't think it is not scoring. Okay. But you have to put a little more efforts. Okay. So guys, that's it. Our time is going to up. It's going to be 9:29. Okay. Just one more minute. Time we have to maintain. Okay. Remember essay. Essay remembrance is continuous studies. In classes, usually I say to draw chart and keep. 200 series chart, 500 series. If you do that, it's easy. Or you yourself, say essays 200 and keep on hearing that. Akshara, you can message me. I'll send you the 11 minutes video. Ada, how was the session? Can you just say how was it? With that, we can wind up. And guys, keep going. Believe in yourself. There is no substitute for the confidence, okay? But overconfidence, Allah, you have to remain confident about yourself. Okay, not over. Okay, we can give our best. We will give our 200%. Now don't think about what will happen. Now students are messaging which essay can we leave? Why are you leaving essay? Then, will the exam be tough? Why are you thinking? Like in the some attempt, will the exam fast is fast. So present, you utilize it well. I'm sure that, it's just one attempt to pass. This attempt will be yours. Okay. Now it is successful. So whenever the result comes, may it Feb end or may it March, not the next attempt. This attempt, when your result comes, it should be nothing less than successful. Okay. So that's it. And thank you guys for being such a wonderful audience. And thank you, Sikasa, also. And this topic was selected because risk assessment is one of the topic from chapter number 3 of Inter and final also chapter 4. It's one of the dry topic. So many students are leaving that. So that's the reason why we took it. Okay. So keep going. All will be good and all the best. Stay blessed. Okay. Wait. Is there anyone? Sikasa team, can we end?
Hello, ma'am.
Parnoda.
On behalf of Cotton Sikasa, I would like to sincerely thank you for the wonderful session. Your guidance have made our first session of Diksha very special. And once again, thank you so much for your great support, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure.
Good night.
Okay, good night. So can I end the session?